Alfonso's here, the godfather of the game. Many years of wisdom, remember his name. Speakers on stage, they'll drop the keys. Unlock your power and seize the breeze.
I'm here with Alfonso. We're at your event here, Expand. Beautiful event. Thank you for putting this on. I think it's great to bring people together, but let's hear a little bit about your story. So tell me about first of all, where you grew up and some of the things you remember.
Well, I grew up in many places. First and foremost, I'm from El Salvador.
Yeah.
And war-torn country, 70s and 80s, and came to Canada as a refugee. Originally landed in Vancouver, and in those days, a lot of people were coming from Latin America. And so we had areas like, first of all, we lived in this hotel that the government had taken up all the rooms, and it was like everybody from every war-torn country in Latin America was in that hotel. And then we moved into these neighborhoods, and they were not the best neighborhoods. I was 9 years old, and was already getting into trouble.
Yeah.
And my mom said, "Okay, my son probably needs a better place to grow up in." And so when I was 12, we moved to Ottawa.
Okay.
Thinking that Ottawa's the place, capital of Canada.
Yep.
Probably not going to have too much trouble there. Turns out I got in trouble there. Maybe I was the trouble.
Yeah, you brought the trouble.
Yeah. But, we lived in city housing, and at the end of the day, it's just the people you surround yourself with. People's lives are a direct reflection of the influence of their peers. And I was surrounded around people that were, negative, we're not going down good paths. And so ultimately at 15, I ended up dropping out of high school and living on the streets. And so I learned a lot from that experience. It was a dark time for me. Oh, you had a dark time. I mean, everybody has had a dark time in their lives. And I had a life-changing moment when my daughter was born. She's in the conference right now, 29 years old.
Yep.
And she's part of the business. And so she knows that, she's my guardian angel. And changed my life. The moment that they put that little girl in my arms, I knew I had to do something. I didn't know what it was, but I had to do something to make sure that I could provide and make this little girl proud.
Yeah.
And that led me to going back to school. I got a job, not a high paying job, $5 an hour. And then I realized, okay, there's no way I'm going to be able to take care of a little girl at $5 an hour. So ultimately what I ended up doing was I started a business selling jeans and t-shirts out of my locker in high school. That turned into a physical location by the time I was 19 years old.
Okay.
By the time I was 21, was a successful business all across Canada. And the biggest issue, even though I was successful, it was that I had no financial literacy. My mom, being an immigrant, the only thing she could push on me was getting a university degree.
Yeah.
That's all she wanted from me. And it just wasn't my path. She taught me integrity, how to be kind to other people. But I didn't learn business skills. I didn't learn financial literacy. I didn't know how to invest. And so at 21, getting a little bit of success, I just pretty much blew the money. And but now I find myself 24 years old, at the verge of bankruptcy, right? Almost about to lose everything. The business that I built, everything.
Like a lot of people are the position that they're in today.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I was negative $1 million. Lenders cut me off. My credit was destroyed.
Yeah.
No income. I was basically living off credit.
Yep.
It was just another dark moment in my life, and I realized, how did I get here? And so I remember sitting at the edge of my bed like this.
Yeah.
One morning, got up and I just kind of went to the edge, and I just sat there for hours thinking, and I was like, I think I messed up, you know, and I thought it was bad luck, or all the things that we blame in life, like the economy and
Yeah.
all of these things. And at the far end of the wall, there's a mirror, and I'm sitting there in my underwear, one morning for hours, and I could look at myself in the mirror. It was kind of like far away in the like I could see it. I could see myself, but it's kind of far away from the bed. And I don't know. There's something powerful when you look at yourself in the mirror, and you're like can stand in your truth, right? And I thought I never want to feel this way again.
Yeah.
Never,
Yeah.
never. And so I started to educate myself, books, everything I could find on. First of all, I needed to learn about money. So that's the only thing I knew. But I discovered this other word, wealth.
Yeah.
As a kid, I thought those were the same thing. Money and wealth, I thought it was the same. But what I discovered was, there's a way of thinking that in how the wealthy operates, that other people don't have access to or know.
Yep.
And what I discovered is I was very much a consumer. I was not an investor. And so I needed to change my mindset to becoming an investor. And the second thing I noticed was that the majority of the wealthy people that I read about up to that point all had multiple streams of income. I only had one. So not only was I vulnerable with one stream of income, but the money that was coming in, I was blowing it.
Yeah.
And then the third thing was all the wealthiest people that I read about, they all had real estate. It was like the common thread. And so I thought, that's interesting. If they're all doing this, there must be something to it. But then I looked closely. None of them were bragging about their 2,500 single family homes. It was all commercial, like significant real estate, like real assets that they can pass down to the next generation, the next generation, the next generation. And I thought, that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
I went back to rebuild my business. I went from a negative $1 million, where I almost at the verge of bankruptcy, to back in the black within about a year and a half. I changed my lifestyle. I got rid of all the stuff, jewelry, cars, all that stuff. And I transitioned into having the investor mindset. And I was going to use real estate as my secondary stream of income. And I was going to build a business that was Armageddon proof. In case anything ever happened to me on this side, I knew that the real estate should be something that could back me up.
Yeah.
I must have been 24 years old, or a little bit younger than that. And, I started by converting a duplex into a triplex. Then my second deal was a 7-plex, 10-plex. And, I never looked back. I've built this amazing portfolio across Canada and the US, multi-million-dollar portfolio. And now we're on track. Now that we have the real estate investment trust, we're going to be doing, in the next 5 years, we want to get to $1 billion portfolio value.
Amazing. So you got out of the black. You were able to transform your business, really turn things around mentally as well, like so that you understand how wealth works. First of all, how did Wealth Genius come together? Like, I'm curious, because it's a big thing. I feel like it came out of nowhere. Like maybe to me, I heard about it maybe 2-3 years ago, and all of a sudden now it's like you're hosting these big events, and you've got hundreds or thousands of people showing up to everything you do.
Yeah. Well, one of the biggest fantasies that I had was, I know that I had to transition into the investor mindset, but I still had a little residual consumerism. What I mean by that is that I was working hard for this fantasy of one day retiring on the beach.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that day came when I was 30 years old, right? I was completely retired. Didn't have to work another day in my life.
That's quick. You went from like, starting in your locker
Yeah.
when you were you said 19 years old. So
Losing everything,
yeah, that
at 24.
so fast. Everything went so
So
quick.
that's within 6 years, right?
Yeah.
And 6 years, I built the business. I worked hard. I would go on these vacations, all inclusive, and remember coming back, and the taxi driver would say to me, "Hey, where do you live?" And I would say, "Canada." He's like, "All these people from Canada, they come here for they work all year to come here for 1 week. I don't know why people don't just stay here."
Yeah.
And so I'm like, man, he's so right, you know. And so that was the vision for myself, in my 20s. I thought I was gonna just retire and sail into the sunset and be in flip flops like all day long.
Yeah.
My name is Alfonso Cuadra. They call me the Godfather of real estate. I've been in business for over 30 years, in real estate over 26 years. I built a multi-million-dollar portfolio. And now I'm going across North America, talking to people and signing checks. I'm looking for deals because I'm building a $1 billion portfolio. Is that you? Let me make an offer you can't refuse.
We just don't have enough information to make this decision. There's too many unknowns. And for that reason, I'm gonna have to ask you to leave.
And so when that day came, and I went back to that beach, and I booked 2 weeks instead of one. The first week was very much like any other week, fun. The second week was boring.
Yeah.
I was bored out of my mind, and I was miserable. Imagine you're on vacation on the beach. Everybody dreams for that.
Yeah.
And I was miserable.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is this what it is now? I'm 30 years old. And so I realized that life is about fulfillment, right? And I wanted to continue to be fulfilled. And the dream at that moment was to help as many people as possible get to that point where they're completely free. And now they realize that whatever fantasy they had wasn't even the thing that they were going to do. And I know that if I can bring enough people to that moment, people are going to be doing amazing things, spending time with their families, building their communities, their churches, doing, having a social impact, all the things that we sometimes say to ourselves, if I had the money to do whatever it is I want to do, I would help this cause.
Yeah.
And a lot of us just don't get that opportunity. A lot of us don't get the opportunity to see how much we would help if we had that time.
Yeah.
And so I decided to dedicate my entire life to helping people get to that point. I was 30 years old. I'm 48 today.
Okay. 18 years ago.
18 years ago.
Yeah.
And so I started with a simple message of expansion, helping people get out of their comfort zone. I was using the vehicle of real estate because that's how I got there. And, I did an event. 2 people showed up. Man, I don't care if 50 or 2 people show up. I'm going to pour into these people.
Yep.
Then those people brought other people.
Then right other 18 years ago back. You only had 2 people 18 years ago.
Yeah, people that would listen to me.
Yeah.
And then, at the end of the day, fast forward to now, you got, we got a organization with, 1,200 members. Now, Wealth Genius specifically came out of the pandemic.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what it seemed like to me.
Yeah. Because, I've been doing this work for a very long time, but before the pandemic, I was doing a lot of all of my education and, speaking and everything, was delivering programs for other educational companies.
Yeah.
Which was great. But then COVID came and that was it. It was, no more events. So I thought to myself, you know what? Probably time to do something on my own.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. People always wanted me to do stuff. So I reached out, hey, I'm available. I put it on social media. I'm available. and then people came.
Yeah.
So since then, we've built Wealth Genius to 1,200 members.
How did you figure this all out? You just on your own? Did you have?
Yeah, no, we're real estate investors. We're not event people.
Yeah.
And you know, I think people can be. I think people were willing to be flexible and allow all the informalities of how we built Wealth Genius at the beginning, because I'm just so passionate about the work, you know. And I think, you know, some of our members might have said, you know what, if this guy's this passionate, you know, maybe he doesn't have the most polished videos, or does it, you know, all the polishing came after.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The brand and all these things. But at the very beginning, it was just like, look, if you're gonna come with us, we're gonna just pour into you,
Right.
and make sure you're successful.
Yeah.
And people saw the results, so they were able to not focus on how unpolished we were at the very beginning.
Yeah.
And then slowly we started to, you know, always improve. You know, so our first expand, this is our sixth big conference like this, right? And just every time you got to get better. You got to pay. We did that because we're not events people.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We're investors, and I think people appreciate that more.
Yeah.
Than if we were just events people pretending to be investors.
Exactly.
We're investors pretending to be events people.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And you're doing a good job. Like, this is a nice, everything I've seen so far is very organized. I mean, I think it's well done. Let's talk a little bit about, you know, what people might be going through today. We kind of touched on your struggles. I know there's a lot of people struggling here today. How are you guys helping the members of yours that are in tough spots? Like, what advice can you give people?
I'm going to give advice to everyone that's listening, not just our members.
Yeah.
Life is a fight for territory. Once you stop fighting for the things that you want, what you don't want will automatically take over. So what happens is when there's momentum, people tend to do more, try more, give more, become more. But when it's the other way, what happens is people tend to say, "I'll wait when the times are better, when the sun comes out," or, you know, so they don't fight as hard as they would have when the times were good. When the times are good, everybody's motivated. Everyone's taking action.
Yeah.
The people that take action during times of correction, because you always need you always need a correction. There's always going to be a recession, but there's always going to be expansion.
Yeah.
There's always going to be a boom, right? And so the people that take action and fight, sometimes people say, I have to work harder today to get the same results. Good.
Yeah.
You will never go wrong with doing double during times of correction, because what happens is when the boom comes back, you're going to be right there.
Yeah.
And most people don't realize, people pause. They spend less on marketing. They spend less on their team. They contract.
Yeah.
And the people that invest more on a team, invest more in marketing, more conferences, more events, those are the people that when the lights get turned back on, they're going to be right there.
Yeah.
Right? So during COVID, you asked me about Wealth Genius.
Yeah.
We virtually, we put in the work. We connected, we built the community. The community was so solid by the time they turned on the lights back on that, you know, our first event was March of 2022.
Yeah.
We were at 100 members. March of 2022.
Wow.
Right? From March of 2022 till today, 2024, 1,200 members. Right? Because we were right there. Everybody else in the industry said, well, we're not going to put that much in marketing. Everyone slowed down. When there's correctional, when you have recessionary times, you level up. You fight more.
Yeah.
You do more because you want to even if someone says, oh, I work twice as much to get the same results. Good. Work even harder.
Yeah.
Right? Because these are the times you're going to get market share.
Yeah.
Because when the times are good, everyone and their grandmother wants to be in the business.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
So that's what I would say to someone right now.
Yeah.
That it's in a tough time. Life is a fight for territory. Once you stop fighting for the things that you want, what you don't want will automatically take over.
Right.
And so in my darkest moment, I had to get up and fight.
There's a lot obviously of truth in that, and I think a lot of people will have to fight, and a lot of us have had to fight the last 2 years to get out of the cash flow walls that we've been in. But in terms of you, like with everything you're building, what's next? Are you going to continue to just focus on these types of events? Yeah, or you said you have a fund as well. Is that kind of what the next?
Well, the fund is really on the real estate side, right? So there's the Wealth Genius is really a community of like-minded people. The fund is another vehicle, of building wealth, and we're going to build a portfolio. But what excites me the most is the work that we do with providing financial literacy for young people. So we started the Quadra Youth Foundation. Along with the Quadra Youth Foundation, we've partnered up with Freedom Tree, which is another organization, and we're building schools in Sierra Leone, Africa, and we're doing a lot of great things. And the idea is I want to go and teach this stuff to developing nations.
Yeah.
So the idea of showing them how to fish.
Amazing. That's so much bigger than just real estate.
Yeah,
There's the whole point of
the idea of Wealth Genius is not just to create a community to build wealth.
Yeah.
Is to create a community where we can have an impact together. Because if you can put together enough like-minded people, right? So right now, we're building this school completely funded by the people of Wealth Genius, right?
Yeah.
Proceeds of Wealth Genius go to put on these programs, these financial literacy programs all over North America. And so, that's, to me, that's what drives me. That's what keeps me going.
Yeah. We're sitting here this is in front of the main stage, and there's a whole bunch of there's banners here with a whole bunch of people that a lot of us recognize. How did you get connected with these people? Did they reach out to you? Did you seek them out?
Well, look, I'm a collaborator.
Yeah.
I don't compete with anybody. I just run. I'm running. If you're on the right or you're on the left, you're running with me, right? I don't need to compete with anybody. I don't see anybody as a threat. In fact, I want to help as many people as possible. If that means working with other people or connecting with other people, that's what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
Right. We want to, the best idea that I could have is not the best idea.
Right.
It's only when I come with an idea and then put it on the table, and then we could tap into the collective mind of other geniuses, and everyone can plug in their genius. Now it becomes an amazing idea, and that's what Wealth Genius is about. Everybody's plugging in their geniuses.
Yeah, that's what I heard actually on Friday. I was talking to someone. He said he was able to buy his biggest acquisition. And I said, well, was it because of this group? Did you get something? He said, yeah, I'll put out a question out there and I get answers from so many different people. And if it weren't for this group, I wouldn't have done that. Yeah. So that's the nice thing about these types of events, these types of groups. You can, like you said, pick people's brains and get everyone's genius together.
And the idea is you want to surround yourself around good quality people. When I was 12 years old, on city housing, living on city housing, the people that were surrounding me were negative people. And my life was impacted negatively. People's lives are a direct reflection of the expectations of their peer groups. Change your peers, change your life.
Yeah.
And so, and it doesn't even have to be Wealth Genius.
Yeah.
Right. But find a group of people that can inspire you, that get you to think more, create more, become more. That's how it works.
Yeah. That's great. Was there anything else you feel like we missed that you wanted to touch on? Anything, last thoughts?
I don't think so. I think in the end, it comes back to taking action.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, we can sit here and talk all we want. We can try to share as much with people. The idea of a podcast is you can get more of a personal view of someone that maybe you've seen out there.
Yeah.
Most people listen and then they go about their life.
Yeah.
You got to do something. You got to take action, right? And without action, nothing happens. And if nothing happens, nothing happens.
Yeah. Yeah. And if somebody's listening and they want to take action, what do they do? How do they get involved with Wealth Genius?
Well, like I said, it doesn't have to be Wealth Genius specifically, but take some level of action. Like put one foot in front of the other. But Wealth Genius, you can go to our website, wealthgenius.ai, wealthgenius.ai, and or just Google me. Google me online, find me on your favorite platform, follow, subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you like anything that I have to say, if anything that I'm saying right now resonates with you, then you're probably are going to find that in this community, it's going to be a lot of the same people.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Alfonso, I appreciate it. Thanks for this. Yeah.
Join us for our 10th and biggest Expand Investor Conference. And this year, this November, we are doing it in Calgary, Alberta. Yeah! And it's going to be a big one. And I want you to go and get your tickets right away. Our Expand Investor Conference, our 10th edition of our Expand Investor Conference is happening in Alberta. Get your tickets right away.